must be maintained till 9th May. Remember, elections are due in Karnataka for May 10. Any major decision by the court a day before could have an impact on voting. Meanwhile, Union Home Minister Amit Shah today lauded Karnataka government for taking that decision to scrap the Muslim quota and redistribute it to Vokkaligas and Lingayats. Home Minister has also slammed the Congress party for appeasement politics after they promised to bring back this Muslim quota if voted to power. Not only this, on Monday, remember, Amit Shah sounded the poll bugle in Telangana as well, promising to scrap the Muslim reservation in the state if voted to power. So a mega political war has broken out after Shah's speech, and the opposition is slamming the Saffron party for playing quote divisive politics. AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi, for example, launched a scathing attack and claimed that the BJP wants to halt Muslim empowerment in the country. The big question is, aren't all political parties, as always, playing vote bank politics when they look at an issue like reservation and specifically Muslim quota? And should Muslim reservation exist or be scrapped? We'll take those questions to our guests in just a bit. But firstly, let me take a look at what happened at the Supreme Court today in detail. So soon after the Karnataka government decided to scrap the Muslim quota in the state, a batch of petitions were filed in the apex court which claimed that the move was unconstitutional. Today, Karnataka government said that no action has been taken yet on that decision, which has been very publicly announced. The Bommai government added that they've decided to not take any further action till these hearings are concluded. SG Tushar Mehta, who's appearing on behalf of the state government, said that they will file their response soon. The Supreme Court also ordered to maintain status quo till the next hearing, which is listed for May 9, just a day before polling in the state of the election-bound state. Now let's take a look at the reservation system in Karnataka. According to the current system, backward classes are getting 4% reservation, which will stay. Similar situation with the OBCs. Right now they get 15% reservation under category 2A, and that will also stay the same. Now Muslims were getting 4% reservation, that too under category 2B, which Karnataka government has decided to scrap. Now Vokkaligas getting 4% reservation under category 2C, which will be increased to 6% now, 2% from the Muslim quota added here. Under category 2D, Lingayats were getting 5% reservation, that will increase to 7%, remaining 2% from the Muslim quota added here. Scheduled castes, 15% reservation was hiked by the government to 17% last year, while scheduled tribes, 3% reservation was increased to a whopping 7%. Now, the bill passed to hike this SC/ST quota is also under challenge because it increased the 50% cap for the state government. Apart from this, the 10% quota for economically weaker sections remains, which is over and above the 50% cap on quotas, and Muslims will get reservation under this category. So, total quotas in Karnataka earlier was 60%. But post the changes and all of the changes taken into account, not just the Muslim reservation redistribution, it will increase to 66%. A major political fight has erupted, as I said. The BJP saying that Muslim quota will be scrapped. They've announced it, but it's halted. Congress saying they will restore it if they come back to power. BJP claims that Muslim quota was unconstitutional to begin with, but Congress claims the abolition of this quota is unconstitutional. The BJP alleges that Congress encouraged this quota purely for vote bank politics. The Congress counters that by saying that the BJP is resorting to divisive politics. Now, why Karnataka government has decided to allot the scrapped Muslim quota to Lingayats and Vokkaligas is also interesting. So the importance of Lingayats first. It's a community that forms 17% of the population in Karnataka, believed to be the BJP's traditional support base. This community can determine the outcome in 90 to 100 constituencies. Former Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa is the tallest Lingayat leader in current politics. Over to Vokkaligas, who are the second most dominant community in the state of Karnataka. Vokkaliga community comprises 11% of the Karnataka population. They've been consistently backing the JDS so far. KPCC President D.K. Shivkumar, though, the Congress state chief, is the tallest Vokkaliga leader and has vast appeal. Now, meanwhile, in Telangana, Home Minister Amit Shah has now promised to scrap quota if voted to power. The battle is heating up there. Amit Shah added that the quota right exists for the OBCs and the ST/STs. Backward Muslims get 4% quota in jobs and education in the state of Telangana, In fact, there was a massive controversy when in 2017, KCR government even sought to hike the Muslim quota to 12%, which is roughly their population matrix. Take a look at the current reservation system in Telangana too. The OBCs are getting 29% reservation in the state, which includes 4% reservation for the Muslims here. Scheduled castes, 15%. Scheduled tribes get 10%. 10% reservation is allotted, of course, to the economically weaker sections, which is over and above the 50% cap. Total reservations in Telangana as of today are also 64% above the 60% cap, so 4% above that cap. The big debate that's coming up, as far as the larger debate on the Muslim quota is concerned, should this Muslim quota, which is maybe defined as more on backwardness, status and economically weaker situation, but is a demarcation on the basis of religion, should this quota exist or be scrapped? That's coming up.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी तो एक गैर संवैधानिक मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन को हम समाप्त कर देंगे।
देखिए, मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन गैर संवैधानिक है। कांग्रेस पार्टी ने तुष्टीकरण के लिए मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन रखा था। हमने मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन को हटाकर वोक्कलिगा, लिंगायत, एससी, एसटी और ओबीसी समाज के रिजर्वेशन को बढ़ाया है।
BJP government is not serious. They know that they will completely fail in it. They have bungled the issue. Day one I have been telling that you are not doing as per the law.
Let's go across to the guests joining us. With me, Samrudh Hegde, the KPCC spokesperson. Pratap Kanagal is JDS spokesperson. Syed Asad Abbas, political analyst. Tushar Gupta, Swarajya Magazine, senior editor with us. I'm also waiting for Anand Gurumurthy, who's the BJP spokesperson in the state. Let me begin with my political analyst first. Tushar Gupta, doesn't it sound odd that the BJP is fighting this election on the scrapping of the Muslim quota, but actually it is not a reality? It is only going to happen maybe if it passes legal muster, if they come back to power. Isn't it unethical then of the BJP to be fighting these elections, acting as if they have already scrapped this quota, but in court they accept that nothing has happened?
Shivani, it's absolutely unethical that the quota exists in the first place. Ideally, the quota should be a part of the EWS category. Because on what basis are we deciding this percentage reservation for the Muslim community? On what basis? It's one simple question. We understand how the reservation for the communities happen. But on what basis are we having a religious reservation? And what is the guarantee that it tomorrow will not be implemented in other states? So anything is unethical, it's the reservation itself. Number two, the BJP has made it a campaign issue. What is stopping the Congress or the JDS from going to the people and saying that, look, this is how the BJP is fooling you. We are going to continue with the quota.
That's what they're saying. To be fair to them, they're saying that.
No, but then on what basis? Again, my question is again the same. This is the first time we are talking about reservation for a religious basis. The BJP has made it a campaign issue and because of the whole electoral math. But how do you justify it in the long run?
Yeah, that is the central question that I'm asking. BJP's Anand Gurumurthy is also with us, but Syed Asad, you wanted to come in.
Yes.
Fundamental question is that, you know, we have reservations principally for a certain reason. Just because a community may have sections of people who classify as backward economically or socially, doesn't mean that a category can be carved out on religious purposes. That fundamentally is the objection to a Muslim quota. And this was done for vote bank politics. Let's not deny it.
Shivani ji, if we are going to blame the Congress for a Muslim appeasement for sorts, if you look at Karnataka scrapping of Muslim reservation, the cap is at 50%. But the BJP government keeps it at 56%, takes away the 4% of Muslims, gives 2% to Lingayat. the largest vote bank of Karnataka, and 2% to Vokkaliga just 2 months before election. Isn't this appeasement politics?
It
As a
is.
matter of fact, yes,
It is. But the fundamental question is on the Muslim quota. Should it exist in the first place? Is it not unethical?
Yes, on the same front, Supreme Court bench comprising of Justice K.M. Joseph said BJP government's move on scrapping of Muslim reservation is shaky and flawed. There is an empirical data for the Muslim reservation to survive till now. Muslims have been enjoying this, due to which the Solicitor General seek time. Now there is a stay on the same order as we speak. 9th May is the next hearing. So let the Supreme Court decide whether it is right or wrong. But for now, the Supreme Court has wrapped the BJP government for doing the same, calling this move shaky and flawed. Also, as a matter of fact, when we blame Congress for Muslim appeasement, now for votes, BJP is doing the same. Vokkaliga Lingayat is the largest vote bank of Karnataka. And you don't do it in the last several years when Bommai was a chief minister. You do it just before the elections. This is an absolute appeasement move, whereas many of the Vokkaliga leaders have called it out. They've stood in solidarity with the minorities and have said, we don't want anything that you scrap somebody else's rights and you give it to us.
Okay.
So
the fact that this has existed and whatever the legal tangles are, of course, it will take its own course. But fundamentally, the question that I'm grappling with, is it unethical to carve out a reservation on religious lines, something we do not do in this country? And if we go down that line, then what is the slippery slope attached here? Let me bring in my political guest here now, Anand Gurumurthy. What is
basically, first of all, I want to...
Yeah, what is the justification that you're going to town about scrapping this Muslim quota, but actually you've not done it? Technically, you've not done it. You can't do it before the next assembly.
See, basically the thing is, in fact, in our constitution itself, a review has to happen every 10 years. But unfortunately, everybody thinks a review means, doing some kind of magic to or some kind of favoritism. That's not the thing. See, here, according to the population and according to the thing, the benefits should go to the poorest of the poor in every caste, in every religion. Okay, that is the idea of reservations. But problem, what happens is everybody talks with respect to what was there and what is not there and, what is coming now. Okay, but actually speaking, what is the necessity is BJP is focusing and doing. And regarding the Supreme Court thing, the analyst actually, whatever conversation is happening, dialogue happening between the judges and the lawyers to understand the case, the analyst is quoting in a very, in a way wherein the judgment has happened. No, the judgment has not happened. And even the Supreme Court CJ has requested. See, the conversation that happens between the judge and the lawyers to understand the case, don't quote it on TV saying that, okay,
those are observations at best.
Or something like that.
Those are observations at best.
Those are not even observations. They are the dialogue that is happening, okay? And maybe they're asking some questions to understand more and other things.
Okay, so fair enough. Nobody is suggesting that a judgment has come in this regard. But I want to understand from you fundamentally, why do you believe this Muslim quota should not exist? There is empirical data, as one of our guests have said, why they deserve this quota, because they need the hand-holding by the government.
See, basically, they were having 4% quota. Along with that, under category 1 and under category 2, certain subsects of Muslims, they also have caste within Muslim religion, and those subsects were already getting a benefit. Along with that, they had this 4%, which has been moved, since it has been taken out, it goes into the EWS quota, which is 10%. So instead of 4%, they're entitled to more actually. The poor in the
but that 10% is not only for them. Let's be fair. That 10% is not only for them. It's for all economically backward people.
This is something which we all have to understand. Okay, it's not only for them. It's only for them. It's for the poor. Okay,
I get it. I'm not questioning your rationale. You raised a fundamental point. One, a lot of religions in India, non-Hindu religions, claim they don't have caste, but they do. That's the ground reality. They also continue to get caste benefits despite changing their religion. Yes. That's also the reality. Those decisions have been defended in India as well. Is that also not unethical? Yes, Samruddh, please come in. What's the justification for this Muslim quota?
No, let me start off by saying the BJP have made a mockery of the reservation policy in Karnataka. They are using it to gain electoral brownie points and political brownie points. They're trying to hoodwink all the communities in Karnataka, as you can see in the way that they've conducted themselves. In the last 90 days, they have made 3 changes in the reservation categories, and all these 3 changes are unscientific. They are not based on any empirical data, and they're in fact based on an interim report. It is clear that you cannot base a reservation change in category based on an interim report, as it was stated in the Maratha reservation quota judgment. Secondly, this whole reservation categories, what they've put out in the government order, it's neither constitutionally valid nor is it legally tenable. They have exceeded the 50%, and the central government themselves have said that no request has been made to change the constitution, to get an amendment in the constitution, or to add this reservation in the 9th schedule. Furthermore, what we're trying to establish is the Muslim reservation is not something which has come out new. It has been there from pre-independence. The first Muslim reservation was given by Nalvadi Krishna Raja Vadiyar in the Mysore state. Furthermore, after that,
I want to intervene a little bit
commissions.
because again, people will get confused if we go with these
Let him finish, I'll come to you. Let him finish, I'll come to you.
Chinnappa Reddy Commission report, Venkataswamy Commission report, and even the latest Commission report all state that Muslims should be given reservation based on their social and economic status. And that is also provided back by the Constitution, Article 15.4 and Article 16.4. And furthermore, how can Mr. Amit Shah make such statements at a public rally when the matter is sub judice in court?
Okay, Anand Gurumurthy, respond.
Pertinent question.
See,
how can you make a statement in a public rally when the matter is sub judice in court? They have purposely taken an adjournment. They're trying to gain.
Mr. Samruddh Hegde, as a citizen, how you and I, Mr. Samruddh Hegde, 1 minute, as a citizen, Mr. Samruddh Hegde, just like how you have a right to speak about it, Mr. Amit Shah also has a right to speak about it, but he will not cross the boundary. He knows that much, okay? So you need not blame him for that. But one thing I want to make clear here, Congress always tries to create confusion, and from past 70-75 years, they are not ensuring that the real beneficiaries who are really poor are getting the benefits. In many places, we see that second generation, third generation, fourth generation, they are enjoying the benefits, but the first generation who really need these are not getting. Okay, so this is something which has to happen in our country, and for that we have to touch point and we have to make the amendments. But they scare people saying that, oh, this will be removed for you, this will be taken away from you. No, the poor in this country will get it, and according to BJP Antyodaya, we are going to ensure that Antyodaya happens, and all the people who are not reached by the government, who must actually be reached by the government, will be reached.
Okay,
and
can I just come in?
Whole agenda.
Can I just come in? Samruddh, I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond. Pratap Kanagal is also waiting. I just want to add 2 things. One, every government works to get some benefit electorally. Let's not act that we are not in politics. We are, right? And there's nothing wrong. You do things public wants. That's why you are in politics. So there's nothing wrong with being populist at the end of the day. So let's not convert that into some sort of a crime. Congress party also does it. The BJP also does it. All political parties done it. Secondly, you look, just the other day I was discussing this report by the Economic Advisory Council of the PM on self-reported data. It showed that amongst the 20% poorest of the poor in India, Muslim households actually are getting more benefits of the central government schemes. Now, that's the counter that is coming in from people, that just reservations are not uplifting. If they did, we wouldn't have such a report. Despite having, such focus being given to the Muslim vote bank en masse. What elevation of poverty has happened amongst them? Samruddh, that's also a question. You give them the benefits that they are entitled to, especially the poorest of the poor. But there is no justification on religious lines to segregate a reservation, fundamentally. Samruddh.
Firstly, I would like to say that Article 15.4 and 16.4 clearly state that any socially economic backward, the state has the power to economic backward. Now the question is the move made by the BJP legal or illegal, constitutional or unconstitutional? It is based on an interim report. Ma'am, no categorization can be made based on
why Samruddh, you want to decide on that?
No, fair enough, but let him finish.
Clearly stated by the Supreme Court. Secondly, they have exceeded the 50% limit, and they have not brought in the required laws to exceed the 50% limit.
Yeah,
They're
fair enough. I
required to-
highlighted that at the start of the show. Okay, let me also go across to Pratap Kanagal. Where does the JDS stand on this? Wasn't it fundamentally for vote bank politics too, an appeasement to bring in this reservation? This debate is now taking place in Telangana as well. We know that the KCR government at one time tried to increase the reservation of the Muslims, who are 12% of the population in Karnataka, to 12%. Can you imagine that? This is obviously being used for vote bank. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, this reservation was not introduced last 3 years or 4 years back or something like that. This reservation was introduced by Mr. H.D. Devegowda when he was Chief Minister of Karnataka in 1994, based on the reports of the Minority Commission recommendation. This reservations for Muslim was introduced. That's the first thing. The second thing, after this, BJP was in power for 5 years and then now 3.5 years. Okay, all this while they didn't talk about anything about it. And after that, in last 3.5 years, BJP in power in Karnataka, they didn't talk about any kind of reservations and all those things. They tried to ignite the communal tensions across Karnataka, and many here take it hijab, or maybe in Tipu Sultan and Korigoda, Nanjagoda, so many things. When everything failed, there are so many corruptions charges. There are so many, and they've lost many faces, and they have nothing to show. They have nothing to talk. They lost when just before 10 days or 15 days before the elections was supposed to be announced. They come up with this first. They come up with this internal reservation, and then they were talking about this scrapping of Muslim quota reservations. Knowing the fact, they very well knew that this is not going to happen. But for them, this is this is shocking that they never expected the Supreme Court will give the verdict so fast. They thought it's going to
The verdict hasn't come. The verdict hasn't come. Only the hearings are on.
This is a shocker for them. Supreme Court gave a shocking treatment to them. That's the
This is the way lies get spread in our country, okay? Especially by JDS and Congress people, they just try to spread the lies. Madam, you have to stop it from telling lies on TV.
I've corrected him. He has corrected himself. He's corrected himself. The verdict hasn't come in this case. But Pratap ji, can I ask you fundamentally, just because something has existed in one state for a long time has never been a good reason for it to continue. That can't be the justification. If that is the reason, then why are, according to you, Muslim... One second. If that is the reason, then why are Muslims in the state still suffering? Reservations have a purpose, right?
I have a query here. What was BJP doing is all these 3.5 years?
Muslim suffering is the votes for Congress and JDS. That is the reason they want
why didn't they
suffer,
discuss about it?
That's why they don't want the community to improve.
Even the internal reservation, even in the internal reservation, when our MP, Mr. Prajwal Ravana, raised a question in Lok Sabha, we all came to know that the state government has even given sufficient documents, submitted in the affidavit. For the sake of it, they fooled the people of Karnataka. They did this.
We'll see if this election gamble works, because this is indeed an election gamble, a gimmick, whatever you may like to call it, because it was never going to become reality before the elections or the votes were cast. Yes, Syed, you want to come in?
Yes, Shivani. Shivani, couple of quick points.
Yeah.
The first point, why did this reservation exist in the first place? Of course, Shivani, you've asked the right question. Fundamentally, is it right or wrong? I'm sure the Supreme Court will take a call on that, and we will uphold the Supreme Court's verdict. For now, in my opening statement, I clearly stated that this is a Supreme Court Judge K.M. Joseph's observation. Okay, this is not a verdict. Respected Anand sir, kindly note, I made the same point. Also, as a matter of fact, why was this reservation given in the first place? Justice Achar Commission report shows that Muslims were the most backward of the backward class, even behind Dalits, scheduled tribe, scheduled caste, Adivasi, so on and so forth. That was the only reason why 30 years back the Karnataka state introduced this. And it's been in existence since then for reservation in jobs, education, and socio-economic background. As a matter of fact, Shivani, let me take a sacrosanct stand and tell you on your show today, and you'll be appreciative of the fact I'm a Muslim. But do I need a reservation? Absolutely no. but there are underprivileged here. This debate will certainly go on. And fundamentally, if we question this, constitutionally, if we question this, certainly the onus lies on the right wisdom of the minds of the Supreme Court. But the direct allegation which the Congress is putting on BJP is that, is this an appeasement move, yes or no? When 5 chief ministers of BJP in the last 30 years, they never did it. But they do it just 2 months before
fair enough.
elections. Isn't this appeasement? Sir,
Fair
you
enough.
blame the Congress party.
This is what
When
they
you
want
say
to,
we are a
post
party
before
with a
people and,
difference.
Yeah, yes,
Sir,
Mr.
sir, I
Anand,
don't
respond
interrupt.
very quickly.
Sir, I
You are just
10 seconds.
just
Sir,
about
10
one part,
seconds.
and this will not help Muslims here.
Anand sir, I did not interrupt you, sir.
No,
Allow
sir.
me
I
10
have to interrupt you because
Anand,
one
sir,
One by
is
one,
saying
one by one.
and the second
Sir,
thing
this
is
is not fair, Anand sir.
One by
is
one,
not fair, sir.
let
You are
Syed
not
finish.
doing fair,
Syed,
sir.
I have run out of time. I've run out of time. You've
Shivani,
made your
one
point. Can I
final
just get Mr. Anand Gurumurthy to just quickly respond? 30 seconds, please. Then I go to Tushar.
Syed and every other person who says that I'm doing fair justice to Muslim, they must understand that this is for the good of Muslims. And how much have they done for the Muslims and how much has it benefited the community? They should measure this. Muslims are still one of the poorest of the poor. What is the reason? The reason is you're
Then EWS
giving
reservation.
enough facility to Muslims. It's just, they put it on the,
that is not the question
whether
now.
it is Congress,
Is it
Okay,
appeasement
okay.
or not?
One
JDS
second,
spokesperson
one
or
second.
any of the analysts or any
Can
of
I
the
come
Muslim
in?
leaders,
Can I
they
come in?
just tell on the surface.
No, so there are two
You tell me,
issues.
it took almost 70 years to remove talaq. What were these people, so-called Muslim leaders doing? They
Okay,
were
okay,
not
fair
just
enough.
women.
Is
You know,
this
Fair
Muslim
enough. I just want to say two
They're
things.
right.
Please don't
What were they
fight and don't
doing
talk
then?
over
They
each
will not do
other.
it, madam. They will not do it. And whatever BJP is doing is in the interest of Muslims and all.
Let the
religions and
let the
all people,
populists
all citizens
discuss
of
that and debate that and decide on that. But Tushar, two things I'll say. There is a saying, very famous one, when you get used to preferential treatment, even equal treatment seems like a problem, right? There's a little bit of that going on here. And let's be fair, in India's independent history, we've seen preferential treatment being given to one vote bank because it votes en masse. Secondly, the fundamental question also is, in a secular country, the same people who keep harping on secular credentials of the country, why do they bat for religious reservation? Tushar, 30-40 seconds for you.
Shivani, let's not reduce it to a Karnataka issue. You have actually pointed out correctly that there is one community that is used to preferential treatment. But the constitutional scheduled caste order 1940 under Article 341 of scheduled caste says that no person professing a religion different from Hinduism, Sikhism or Buddhism can be deemed a member of the scheduled caste. So firstly, it's not a Karnataka issue. The center has been raising this issue before the Supreme Court that people who have converted to Christianity or to Islam, and they're free to do that, they cannot be utilizing the benefits that are meant for the SCs. So let's not make it a Karnataka issue. Number two, there was a panelist here who said, oh, the Muslim community is still very poor. That is why you have the EWS quota. The government is not taking away reservation from the Muslims. It's merely reallocating it, and it's considering that there is an economic problem, so it needs to be solved by economic reservation.
No, that's not reallocation.
My question is, why do they want social reservation?
That's not reallocation. You take the 4%, give 2% to Lingayat and 2% to Vokkaliga. How is that reallocation, sir?
Okay, Tushar, very
They are
quickly.
being
Tushar,
given reservation.
I've limited
They
time.
are
Let him
being-
respond. I have
Sir,
30
your
seconds
argument-
only.
Sir,
Syed, let him respond to that. Tushar.
Sir, your argument is that the Muslims are not being given any reservation anymore. That is
No, I
untrue.
did not
They
say
will
that,
be
sir.
able to claim
The
reservation
argument is
under the EWS
scrapping
quota.
and
Number
giving it
two,
to-
number
My
two,
point is
number two,
appeasement.
number two. Sir, please listen to me.
Sir, my
Please
point, is
listen
it
to me.
appeasement or not? Are you trying to appease
How
the
is it
largest vote
appeasement?
bank?
How is it appeasement? How is it
Vokkaliga
appeasement?
and Lingayat,
How is it
4%.
appeasement? So
Zyada given
tomorrow
bigger
you
vote
will
bank
no
than
no no.
Muslim.
Tomorrow
Isn't
you will
this
make a
appeasement?
case. Tomorrow
Yes
you
or
will
no?
make a case
Let's
for
not be blind
no
supporters
tomorrow.
of the BJP here. Is it
I'm not being
appeasement
a
or
blind
not?
supporter.
Allow
No,
me.
it's not.
If you blame the
Okay, let
Congress,
him finish.
let-
Please
Okay,
don't
so-
fight over each other like this.
So-
Let him finish,
so-
Tushar.
Sir, so by
Tushar,
your
allow me to
logic, by
finish,
your
Tushar.
logic. No.
Tushar, the
Sir,
point
you
here I'm
interrupted me.
making
Please
is
listen.
Syed,
Please
Syed,
listen.
don't say the same thing over and over. Let's just listen to him for 10 seconds. I've got to move on. Yes, Tushar, please, 10 seconds.
Sir, by your logic, having reservation for the communities for which the reservation is actually meant as appeasement, but having a religious-based conversion is somehow flawed by the government. Please explain this to the country at large, that how do you justify this? The SCs in any other non-Hindu community are not meant to be having reservation. That's not a part of the constitution under Article 341.
Okay, Syed, 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
5
I'll
seconds.
answer, Shivani.
Yes.
You like my answer. As a matter of fact, sir, I have blamed the Congress for Muslim appeasement. And today, let me tell you, almost everyone in Karnataka says this is a Vokkaliga Lingayat appeasement for vote banks. Let us agree, sir. Congress and BJP, both for electoral benefits, are using this appeasement politics, which is wrong.
Sir, is
Okay.
religious-based conversion
Okay, I've got to leave it at that. I've got to leave it at that. But as Tushar was hinting, this is going to be a pan-India debate, and it will go forward as and when the Karnataka elections move on. Now they've made that promise in Telangana too. There is some murmur in Andhra about, those who have converted from Hinduism still getting the benefit of SC/ST community reservations. We'll leave it at that. Let's focus on the next story. The Bihar government has issued a notification on Monday to release 27 prisoners who've completed 14 years of their life term in jail. Now, ex-MP Anand Mohan, who is believed to have a good Rajput vote bank, is also on this list. This comes after amendment of prison laws done by the state government. So the Bahubali leader Anand Mohan Singh was serving life imprisonment in connection with the lynching of IAS officer G. Krishnaya in Muzaffarpur in 1994. BSP Chief Mayawati and the BJP have strongly criticized the Bihar government's move for the premature release of Singh. Nitish Kumar government had amended the Bihar Prison Manual 2012, removing the, quote, murder of a public servant on duty clause from the list of cases for which remission of jail term cannot be considered. So who is Bahubali Anand Mohan? He's a 75-year-old Bihar Musselman and former MP from Shiohar. Was convicted in 1994 IAS Krishnaya's murder case. He was awarded a death penalty, in fact, by trial court in 2007. But Patna High Court converted it to life imprisonment. Anand Mohan is father of Shiohar RJD MLA Chetan Anand Singh. He's also a close aide of the RJD chief Lalu Yadav and the Yadav family that is also sharing power in Bihar. So the big question we're asking today, as far as this remission is concerned, is it not politics trumping justice?
जो क्रिमिनल होगा उसको अटल जी क्यों जो है सो साथ बिठाएंगे, लालू जी क्यों साथ बिठाएंगे, नीतीश जी क्यों साथ बिठाएंगे, मोदी जी क्यों साथ बिठाएंगे? फ्रीडम फाइटर परिवार है मेरा, ये क्रिमिनल कर सकता है क्या?
Bihar government is unconstitutional, it is arbitrary, unnecessary, it is against the public interest, and Nitish Kumar should come before the public and say what was the basis of the decision.
आनंद मोहन का उस हत्या से कोई संबंध नहीं है। हम सबकी बात नहीं कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अधिकांश लोग जो है कोई अपराधी प्रवृत्ति के नहीं थे।
Let's go across to the guests joining us. Love Kumar of the JD is joining us. Also, Suman Kumar Malik from the RJD will be with us. Raman Malik of the BJP too. Love Kumar, every time a decision is taken in the Bihar government since the new realignment by Nitish Kumar, the question that arises is exactly who is in control of a government headed by a chief minister known for Sushasan? Is it Sushasan for a convicted life prisoner to get remission even though he is guilty of killing a serving IAS officer, public servant on duty? ये सुशासन है बिहार में? नीतीश कुमार चला रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट या आरजेडी चला रही है?
बिल्कुल सुशासन है और नीतीश कुमार जी के ही नेतृत्व में गवर्नमेंट चल रही है, किसी दूसरे के नेतृत्व में नहीं चल रही। और नीतीश कुमार जी बहुत सोच समझ कर डिसीजन लेते हैं। इतनी जो है तौबा बीजेपी और अब अन्य पार्टियां मना रही है। कुछ दिन पहले ही तो बिल्किस बानो हत्याकांड के जितने सारे अभियुक्तों को, बलात्कारियों को शिष्टाचारी बताकर छोड़ा गया था। कोई डिबेट का इशू नहीं रहा पूरे देश में। बहुत ही
बट
हल्के वे
गवर्नमेंट
में
ने
किया है।
गुजरात में वो पॉलिसी सिर्फ बिल्किस बानो के केस के लिए नहीं चेंज करी थी ना, वो पॉलिसी गुजरात में बहुत पहले चेंज हो गई थी इनफैक्ट।
ये पहले चेंज हो
लेकिन
गई थी तो
आपने तो अभी पॉलिसी चेंज करी है और ऐसा लगता है कि कुछ
समय
लोगों
के
को
अनुसार
बेनिफिट
बनाई
देने
जाती
के लिए
है।
वो पॉलिसी चेंज करी है।
पॉलिसी समय के अनुसार ही बनाई जाती है और ऐसी एकाध घटनाएं नहीं घटी है। राष्ट्रपति महोदय ने भी कई को क्षमादान दिया है। तो क्षमादान और ये तो एक न्यायिक प्रक्रिया है जिसके तहत जेल मैनुअल के तहत जेल में उनके व्यवहार के उपरांत ये डिसीजन लिया जाता है कि उनका व्यवहार कैसा रहा।
तो आपने आनंद मोहन के लिए करा है ये डिसीजन, तो बोल दीजिए ना कि आनंद मोहन के लिए किया है।
आपने सिर्फ एक आनंद मोहन जी पर ही सवाल उठाया है। मैंने इस पे जवाब दिया कि आनंद मोहन जी का व्यवहार जेल में ऐसा रहा। 6 किताबें उन्होंने लिखी है, उन्होंने ऐसी कविता लिखी जो पाठ्यक्रम में पढ़ाया गया। आनंद मोहन जी का व्यवहार जेल में जाने के बाद का जो व्यवहार है उसके आधार पर डिसीजन लिया जाता है, जेल से रिपोर्ट मंगाई जाती है और उसके आधार पर एक सामान्य प्रक्रिया है। और लॉ में चेंज लॉ बनाया जाता है और अमेंडमेंट भी किया जाता है।
नहीं तो ये अमेंडमेंट का रैशनल क्या है? सुमन कुमार मलिक, व्हाट्स द रैशनल फॉर दिस अमेंडमेंट? व्हाई हैव यू गिवन पीपल who have killed serving officers a pardon like this, an early remission like this? What's the rationale?
देखिए, सबसे बड़ी बात क्या है ना कि जिस बात को मुद्दे को हवा दिया जा रहा है ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है। देश के आजादी से पहले भी जब हमारे यहाँ गोरों का शासन था, उसमें भी जिन कैदियों की अच्छा चरित्र रहता था उनको समय से पहले छोड़ा जाता था। और देश के आजादी के बाद भी अनेक अवसरों पर कोई कैदी, चाहे राजनीतिक कैदी हो या कोई भी कैदी हो, उनके अंदर का जो चरित्र है, उनका जो व्यवहार है अगर अच्छा होता है तो सरकार एक जो है सो बैठक बुलाती है जेल में और विधि विधेयक जो है सो एक निर्णय लेके उन्हें छोड़ा जाता है। आनंद मोहन चूंकि एक बड़े नाम है, ये सांसद रह चुके हैं, विधायक रह चुके हैं, सामाजिक क्षेत्र में रह चुके हैं और अब जो घटना घटी वो एक अलग मुद्दा है। लेकिन जिस तरीके से ये जेल में थे, इन्होंने जिस तरीके से अपना व्यवहार रखा, एक आवाज उठी और ये अकेले नहीं है, और भी लोग हैं। तो ऐसे लोगों को सरकार ने विधि सम्मत एक निर्णय लेके, ये नहीं कि सरकार आनंद फानंद में आई और इनको रिहा करने जा रही है। विधि सम्मत जो विधि वेत्ता लोग हैं उनसे निर्णय लिया गया। और जो कुछ कैदियों को, जिसमें राजनीतिक और सामाजिक दोनों तरह के लोग हैं, उन्हें जो सो छोड़ा जा रहा है।
But on one hand, the government cannot claim we've done it just because it seemed like the right thing for such category of criminals and prisoners, and then also justify why Anand Mohan is a true beneficiary and the right beneficiary of this remission. Raman Malik, the question that arises is a lot of people who do virtue signaling in the Bilkis Bano case, and the BJP government in Gujarat has been on the receiving end of that case. Why are they not so outraged about this remission, where the government has changed this policy only now?
देखिए, पॉलिसी अभी चेंज करी गई और वो करा गया, लेकिन सुशासन बाबू की, वो बोलते हैं ना, गिरगिट को देख के गिरगिट रंग बदलता है। तो सुशासन बाबू के आसपास है कौन? आज का गुंडा राज, बम का गुंडा राज बंगाल में, अतीक अहमद जैसों को पालने वाले यूपी में, ये अभी इन्हीं से मुलाकात करके आ रहे हैं। तो ताजा ताजा अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि गुंडों को कैसे पाला जाता है, दबंगों को कैसे बड़ा बनाया जाता है। दिस इज द इंफॉर्मेशन और द क्रैश कोर्स दैट सुशासन बाबू हैज जस्ट रिसीव्ड। नाउ द पॉइंट इज, एंड व्हिच आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क, द सेम सेट ऑफ पीपल वर थंपिंग देयर चेस्ट, वर क्राइंग दैट oh, injustice has happened. अब मेरा इनसे पूछना यह है कि जब आप एक अपराधी के लिए अपने कानूनों को बदलते हैं और उनको बाहर छोड़ते हैं, उसका आपको क्या फायदा होगा? यही फायदा होगा ना कि आपकी दबंगई बढ़ेगी। तो मैं आज पूछना चाहता हूं कि जब अतीक अहमद जैसे लोगों के लिए समर्थन देने सड़कों पे लोग आते हैं, तो तब आप लोगों चुप हो जाते हैं, मुंह में दही जम जाती है, तब कुछ भी नहीं बोलते, तब कोई डेमोक्रेसी खतरे में नहीं होती, तो आपको तब तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। लेकिन आज आपको फर्क पड़ रहा है। और क्यों
but
पड़
the
रहा है?
question, Raman Malik, the question that also goes to the BJP is that you gave remission, early remission to Bilkis Bano's convicted rapist. So what moral ground do you have to raise a question on this?
We are working as per the policy. We are not worked स्पेसिफिकली किसी एक के लिए हमने कोई नया कानून बना दिया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है।
No, but the
लेकिन हाँ,
RJD,
इतना जरूर
JDU
बोलूंगा
government can also claim कि उन्होंने किसी एक आदमी के लिए नहीं किया ना।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, सुनिए, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर इज कि यहाँ पे एक व्यक्ति को आजाद करने के लिए ये पूरा प्रकरण रचा गया है और एक निर्धारित प्लान के अनुरूप इसको रखा गया है, क्योंकि अब जैसे जैसे चुनाव पास आते जाएंगे वैसे वैसे दबंगों को बाहर निकालना एक नीति है।
Okay,
लेकिन
the
जहां
fact
तक
that he's
गुजरात की
close, the
बात है,
fact that this man convict is close to the RJD leadership, सुमन जी, ये सवाल तो उठेगा ना कि आपने अपने से जो करीबी हैं उनके लिए ये काम किया, ये तो नेचुरल सवाल है।
नहीं 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 नहीं, मैं बहुत ईमानदारी से आपको बतलाता हूँ। ये जो विपक्ष है, हमारे यहाँ जो विपक्ष है, चाहे वो हमारे बिहार का विपक्ष हो या देश में जो सरकार, केंद्र की सरकार है, वो एक आरोप प्रत्यारोप की राजनीति करने में मशगूल है। और आप जो देख रहे हैं, ये जो आनंद मोहन जी को या इनके साथ अन्य जो 27 लोगों को छोड़ा जा रहा है, ये कोई अलग से नियम नहीं बनाया गया है, एक सामान्य प्रक्रिया। हाँ, क्योंकि हमने अभी कहा है, क्योंकि इसमें एक आनंद मोहन जैसे व्यक्ति हैं, विपक्ष को हल्ला करने का एक अवसर मिल गया है, एक बोलने का अवसर मिल गया है, और ये जो आरोप प्रत्यारोप की राजनीति करते हैं, अगर दूसरे सामान्य लोग होते तो इतनी चर्चा नहीं होती। लेकिन इसमें आनंद मोहन जी हैं इस तरीके से, और इसमें सरकार की अपनी कोई मंशा नहीं है, न सरकार सामाजिक लाभ लेने की मंशा रखती है, न राजनीतिक मंशा है, न चुनावी मंशा है, एक सामान्य प्रक्रिया है, और उसी के तहत आनंद मोहन और अन्य कैदी छोड़े जा रहे हैं।
Yes, Raman Malik, you want to respond? Respond now.
एक यूट्यूबर को तो जेल में भेज देते हैं एनएसए लगा के, और आप करते ही हैं कि एक गुंडे को बाहर निकालते हैं। अदला बदली हो रही है क्या? अतीक अहमद का जो पूरा प्रकरण था, जो अखिलेश ने एक पूरा सिस्टम बनाया था गुंडा राज का, आप अभी अभी क्रैश कोर्स लेकर आए हैं, ये लालू जी वाला ही सिस्टम है।
सुमन जी, आपके लिए सवाल।
जी जी, एक बार रिपीट किया जाए।
ये कह रहे गुंडा राज का ये मेमोरी है, ये लालू प्रसाद यादव की मेमोरी है जो हो रहा है आज बिहार में।
नहीं, अब नहीं, हमने अभी कहा ना कि ये आरोप प्रत्यारोप की राजनीति का एक परंपरा, एक चलन शुरू हो गया।
तो फिर उस गरीब को बाहर निकालो।
पहले क्या था कि विपक्ष भी सकारात्मक रूप से चलती थी। अगर सत्ता पक्ष या जिनकी सरकार होती थी कुछ गलत होता था तो विपक्ष के लोग बोलते थे कि सर्वदलीय बैठक बुलाइए, ये कीजिए, वो कीजिए, हमसे रायशुमारी लीजिए। लेकिन अब रायशुमारी नहीं चलती है, अब आरोप प्रत्यारोप। और अभी हमारी जो सरकार है, भाई साहब एक मिनट, अभी हमारी सरकार कोई चुनावी मंशा लेके नहीं कर रही है। अभी जो भी कर रहा है ना, जो हमारी विपक्ष है, वो लाभ लेना चाहती है, और लाभ लेने के लिए हमारे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी पर, तेजस्वी पर, और हमारी सरकार पर, महागठबंधन की सरकार पर अनर्गल प्रलाप ये लोग कर रहे हैं।
Well, it is the opposition's job to ask questions, and it isn't just the opposition per se in Bihar that is raising questions. You've got Mayawati also raising questions. Ultimately, it is, of course, the leadership of the JDU and the RJD, especially Nitish Kumar, who some claim has prime ministerial ambitions or is wanting to lead a third front against the BJP in 2024, will have to answer what is the precedent they're setting and what is the benchmark they're setting for them. Are they going to stand for those who kill officers on duty? Or are they going to stand for those who are the victims in such cases? I'll leave it at that. I do thank our guests for joining us. Time for a very short break. On coming up next, we'll get you the latest from Sudan that has plunged into a civil war, and also how India's Operation Kaveri is ongoing to evacuate stranded Indians. More on the other side.
And I might as well remind you that Madam just mentioned unemployment as a major problem of Kerala. Well, the country is still waiting for the 2 crore jobs that were promised by the Bharatiya Janata Party government. Now it's 9 years and there are no jobs which people can speak about.
Okay.
And before Corona,
let me go ma'am, with your permission.
Unemployment of 45 years,
okay,
madam.
let me go to Smita Prakash of ANI. Smita, you know, the issue for the BJP is they've got a very tough and a very competitive election in Karnataka that's coming up. They have not made the kind of inroads in southern India that they'd hoped to. They are hoping that they will do so in Telangana to some extent, possibly even Tamil Nadu. Why is expanding to the south such an important part of the BJP's strategy or plan for 2024, and how easy or difficult may that be if, and I know it's a big if, but if the BJP were to lose Karnataka?
So yes, I think Zaka, that you are right. That winning state or states in southern India is extremely important to the BJP, because they don't want any part of India to be seen as a no-go zone for the BJP, and they want to shed that image of it being a Hindi party, a Hindi language party, or a north-based party. Just like, if you remember, in the 90s they had this image of being a Baniya kind of a party, a Hindu Baniya party, a shopkeepers party. These are the kind of epithets that used to be used for the BJP. That, the same way that it's a Hindu majority party, doesn't look at non-Hindu areas. But, they proved that wrong by getting into states in the Northeast. People used to say Northeast mein to BJP aa hi nahi sakti. And somehow they managed to make inroads out there. How they do it is a different matter. Now, as far as South India is concerned, it's always been a thorn in the flesh. They haven't been able to make inroads there because regional parties are very strong in southern India. In Karnataka, they are there, but very precarious situation, as we know. Now, as far as Kerala is concerned, they've been making strong attempts before the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Now, Prime Minister Modi is the central focus of the campaign by the party. But this outreach to the Christian community is very interesting. And I don't believe that the outpouring that you saw today is just hospitality, as the Congress spokesperson would have us believe. They have been trying to reach out to the Christian missionaries. And they've also been trying to reach out to the youth of the state. The campaign in Kerala has also, been towards beyond ideological issues. As the clip that you played just now of Prime Minister Modi saying that, tired ideological battles is something of the past. Think about something new. So the new is going to be about development agenda, and that is why this Vande Bharat or that Yuvam program that they have, they want to reach out to those disgruntled youth who have moved away from the Congress-led UDF. So they want to bring those people into the BJP. So there seems to be some kind of a change, a minor change maybe, but the Congress is kind of confident that despite Mr. Modi being there, once Rahul gets into this outreach mode in the month of May, Rahul will be able to negate whatever impact Mr. Modi has done. They are that confident in Rahul Gandhi in Kerala.
Sujata, let me start with, Shilpa Nair of the BJP. The BJP has been a third player in the state of Kerala, where it's always alternated between the CPM and the Congress. Why should the people of Kerala give the BJP a chance? A party that has not got more than 10 to 12% vote share. Even in the last assembly elections, you had capped out about 12% vote share. In a triangular fight, any party that hopes to win needs to get at least 30% vote share. Shilpa, you have to unmute yourself, please. Thank you.
Yeah, we have seen the communist government of Kerala, where they have not actually invested anything for the youth of Kerala. The main problem of Kerala is unemployment. And the government has not taken any steps so far for solving this issue. The main income from the people are liquor and lottery sales. They have not started any projects, any new initiative in Kerala so far. But whereas we see in, Modi-led governments, state governments, we have seen that a lot of employment has been generated. And this is the main problem in Kerala. Not only the youth, even the aged people have to go outside Kerala, even to the Gulf regions to find jobs, leaving their family all behind. So the employment opportunity is sort of zero. It is absolutely, there is no opportunity there. So we need a government like BJP, who is promoting many schemes like Startup India, skill development, so that the youth of Kerala can be, also in this journey, Amrit Kal journey, where we are also part of the development of India.
I also want to ask you specifically, before I go to the other panelists, about this outreach to the Christian community. We saw the Prime Minister go to a church here in Delhi.
Welcome back. Amidst the Sudan crisis, India has launched Operation Kaveri to rescue Indian nationals. First batch of 278 Indians have boarded INS Sumedha from Port Sudan, and they are currently en route to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, where they will be airlifted by the Indian Air Force. MOS MEA V. Muralidharan is also in Jeddah to oversee the evacuation process. These began after violence broke out in capital Khartoum. On April 15, clashes broke out between the Sudanese army and rapid support forces in Khartoum, leaving hundreds dead and thousands wounded. Meanwhile, the two warring sides have announced a ceasefire for 72 hours starting today, and several other countries have also started evacuation for their citizens. So how many Indians have been rescued so far? Total 2,800 Indian nationals are stranded in Sudan's capital. Today, 278 Indians boarded INS Sumedha. The evacuees are now being taken to Jeddah. Saudi Arabia earlier has evacuated 91 foreign nationals, which also includes a few Indians. Saudi Arabia, in fact, has promised to provide practical support to India on ground. France also has evacuated 5 Indian nationals from capital Khartoum.
जब से वॉर स्टार्ट हुई थी वहाँ पे एकदम से प्रावधान आए एंड देन अब उन्होंने हमें यहाँ शिप भी भेज दिया है इंडियन नेवी हमारा पूरा अच्छे से ख्याल रख रही है हमारे बच्चों को अच्छे से टेक केयर कर रही है एंड लाइक खाना बड़ा अच्छा मिला है अब लग रहा है कि हाँ सेफ हाथों में और इंडिया पहुँच जाएंगे
During the war situation, the situation was very bad. There was no electricity, water for 4-5 days, and now we are safe in the ship. And now we feel more safer. Even when we entered, they asked us what you want to eat. In last 10 days, no one was there to take care of us. So this felt make us feel more safe, and we hope safely we will reach India soon. Thank you for Indian Navy, Indian Embassy, and Indian government. Thank you.
Now, Minister of External Affairs S. Jaishankar had made the announcement earlier that India will launch this mega operation called Operation Kaveri to rescue stranded Indians. Indian Air Force's 2C-130J are already positioned in Jeddah. Naval ship INS Sumedha is carrying these evacuees, as we just showed to you, from Port Sudan to Jeddah. Jaishankar had said that India's priority is safety of Indians who are trapped in Sudan.
What all details you have right now regarding the evacuation which is currently underway?
There are estimated about 3,000 Indian citizens are stranded in Sudan. Some of them have been staying in Sudan for some time. The Ministry of External Affairs of India have shown a great concern about their citizens in Sudan. Have been in constant contact with our authorities in Sudan, and the response is very high. Sudanese government and Sudan armed forces are very keen to make the return of Indian citizens to their home and to their countries, to their families, safe and soon. Sudan government and Sudanese armed forces are 100% committed in this, in bringing back or helping and facilitating bringing back Indian citizens to their home country. And we all understand the situation in Sudan, and in that regard, Sudanese armed forces, Sudanese government will do its best to provide a safe corridor for all foreigners, including Indians.
Now, over 180 people have lost their lives amidst the infighting in Sudan. This is because of the power tussle between the Sudanese army and the rapid support forces, plunging the country into a civil war. The two groups were allies and jointly seized power in a coup in 2021, but tensions have been increasing over the integration of the RSF into the military. The power struggle is mainly over who will be the ruler and control the army. This has led to clashes between the two, with most of the fighting happening in the capital city of Khartoum. The clashes have been intense, with heavy artillery used by both sides, even in populated areas. Sudan's political situation has been always volatile. There have been several wars in the country in past 20 years itself. In 2003, a conflict broke out in Darfur region, where rebels launched an insurrection to protest against Sudanese government. In 2005, Sudan went into a war with neighboring country Chad. In 2009, Sudanese nomadic conflict broke out, which gave birth to a new country named South Sudan in 2011. Just a year later, in 2012, a border conflict broke out between Sudan and South Sudan. Now, India has a history of successful rescue operations like the one we're mounting right now. Here are some of those. When Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990, over 170,000 Indians were lifted and repatriated to India. During the Israel-Lebanon conflict in 2006, over 2,200 people were evacuated, including Nepalese and Sri Lankans. During 2011 Libya war, Air India and Indian Navy evacuated 15,000 plus Indian nationals. 2015 Nepal earthquake, a joint Army-Air Force operation rescued over 5,000 Indians. Yemen civil war 2015, nearly 5,600 people were evacuated. At the start of the COVID pandemic in 2020, about 4,000 Indian nationals were repatriated to India from various overseas countries. In fact, during the COVID pandemic, India also conducted the largest repatriation exercise, Operation Vande Bharat, bringing back over 1.8 crore Indians. Operation Devi Shakti in 2020-2021 during the Taliban's takeover in Afghanistan, where over 800 Indians were evacuated. During the Russia-Ukraine war, over 25,000 Indian nationals were brought back. Finally, at the end of plain speak, Ajinkya Rahane is back in the Indian Test team, but for the one-off World Test Championship final. He's been setting the IPL pitch on fire with some long hitting and impressive strike rate, and it seems he's been rewarded for that and his experience in England, which is the venue of the WTC final. Here's more. In cricket news, the BCCI has named the Indian 15-man squad for the World Test Championship final, which will play against Australia from June 7 to 11 at Oval in London. Rohit Sharma will lead the squad, and veteran batsman Ajinkya Rahane has returned to the team for the first time since January 2022. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the remaking of Ajinkya Rahane, especially in this season of the IPL, and if that's the real reason why he's been picked in the side for the first time in many months. All-rounder Shardul Thakur has also been picked, while left-arm pacer Jaydev Unadkat has retained his place in the five-man pace attack. Wicket-keeper batsman Ishan Kishan is dropped, and KS Bharat has been named as the first-choice wicket-keeper batter. Remember, India qualified for the World Test Championship final for a second time in a row, while Australia have reached their maiden final.
Big thing that I want to focus about is the remaking of Ajinkya Rahane. Of course, all of us have been wondering, who is this man masquerading as Ajinkya Rahane in IPL 2023? Because if you look in the limited amount of matches that he has played so far, he set the stage alight, and it looks like somebody other than Ajinkya Rahane, a Rahane doppelganger, is actually out on the field for the Chennai Super Kings.
Well, Shivani, honestly, it's not surprising to be, to see him this way. For me, at least, it's not surprising. Why I say that? Because it was the latter part of his international career where he was actually looking somebody who was doubting himself, somebody who was not looking in great touch, somebody who was not looking in great form. I remember a time in 2013 when he was the first choice opener in ODI cricket, but then you had Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan coming to the stage. So they started opening the innings, and then he was shunted down to number 4. He was told to do a job for India at number 4 in the 2015 ODI World Cup. Then he was the backup opener in the 2016 T20 World Cup. So he's had to modulate his game, his white ball game, because of those different roles that he was given by the Indian team management. And MS Dhoni was the captain at that time. And it was his impression that Ajinkya could do so many different roles in white ball cricket.
When was the last time we remember Rahane being able to do so consistently as he's doing in the IPL currently? On top of that, you look at the kind of shots he's playing. He's playing that 360-degree cricketing shot, a lot of shots behind the wicket keeper. I don't remember the last time I watched him play like that. Just the freeness with which he's playing.
Absolutely. You mentioned one word there, Shivani. That's the freeness. That's the independence that he's playing with now. So I guess that is the one element that probably we are not aware of, and that is something that's changed in him since he's come to CSK. And I know for a fact that MS Dhoni knows how to get the best out of Ajinkya Rahane, even during his time in international cricket, whether red ball or white ball. His best cricket came under the captaincy of MS Dhoni.
The last 1 year, for 52 weeks, we've been #1 across time bands, across different data points, across different viewer segments. The fact that for the last entire year we have dominated the ratings, there is no parallel to this. 1 year of non-stop, undefeated, unbeaten #1. I think it's a great testament to the young team here at CNN News 18. This is great validation for us and for this young team here to continue on this path and to continue bringing you stories that we believe are making a difference to your lives.
Good evening. You're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakir. We are starting with some piece of breaking news that is coming in now. Congress leader and Member of Parliament, former MP, Rahul Gandhi has moved the Gujarat High Court seeking a stay on his conviction in the defamation case. Pallavi Ghosh is joining me on the phone line. Pallavi, give us the details.
This is as per procedure because we know the Sessions Court has already rejected his appeal on the grounds that he's a responsible member of Parliament. He should have been, and therefore he shouldn't have said what he said because that can have negative repercussions. So the only procedure for him then to the next step was really to go to Gujarat High Court, and that's the next step he's taken. So the High Court is he's moved High Court. He's appealed against the conviction. Essentially, what the Congress will be looking at is a rejection of the conviction. If in case the Gujarat High Court doesn't give him any kind of a relief, then the last recourse really left is for Supreme Court.
All right. Thank you so much, Pallavi. So if he gets relief, then it's good for Rahul. If he doesn't, then he will be challenging it in the Supreme Court. Shifting focus to our top story this hour, the clash over reservation is back in poll-bound state of Karnataka. Amidst the battle in the top court, the BJP government has told the Supreme Court that it will put a hold on the scrapping of 4% for Muslims as per its March order, where the government decided to grant 2 additional percentage of quota to the Vokkaligas and also to the Lingayat communities. Opposing the government's March order, lawyers arguing for the petitioners said that the state removed Muslims from the backward class list and included them under the economically weaker sections category without any empirical data collected or study done to support the move. The state government has told the court it needs more time to file its affidavit. The next hearing in the top court is now slated for May 9th, making it the 4th time the court has adjourned the matter. The Congress has hit out at the BJP, saying the Saffron Party stands exposed, calling it desperate to rally votes ahead of the state elections. And speaking exclusively to CNN News 18, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who's campaigning in Karnataka, called reservation on the basis of religion unconstitutional, adding that the BJP is committed to empowering the SCs, STs and OBCs along with the Vokkaliga and Lingayat communities. This also comes as BJP leader K.S. Ishwarappa, who has retired from electoral politics, said the BJP does not need a single Muslim vote, adding that caste coalitions are important to maintain power in the state. Remember, we are just 2 weeks away from the elections, and counting will happen in the month of May. Of course, the date is 13th to be specific, and the vote bank dynamics are in a state of flux. The big question remains, who holds the edge when it comes to rallying crucial vote banks?
जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी तो एक गैर संवैधानिक मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन को हम समाप्त कर देंगे। देखिए, मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन गैर संवैधानिक है। कांग्रेस पार्टी ने तुष्टीकरण के लिए मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन रखा था। हमने मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन को हटाकर वोक्कलिगा, लिंगायत, एससी, एसटी और ओबीसी समाज के रिजर्वेशन को बढ़ाया है।
BJP government is not serious. They know that they will completely fail in it. They have bungled the issue. Day one I have been telling that you are not doing as per the law.
So what does it really mean for poll-bound state of Karnataka? What does it mean for the BJP? What does it mean for the Congress? Joining me now on the show, Ashok Gowda, Karnataka BJP spokesperson, Lavanya Balal is Congress spokesperson, Farzana is JDS spokesperson, and B.S. Arun is senior journalist. Before I bring in the politicians, B.S. Arun, I'm going to understand from you. You know, the fact is that the BJP has no scientific basis to remove the Muslims from the backward class list in Karnataka, and that is the reason why there has been no order that has come to carry forward this decision that has been made by Bommai government. Do you think because it has been put on hold, BJP will not be able to convince the Lingayats and the Vokkaligas a vote constituency that they need so desperately in these elections?
Yes, number one is the crux of the issue is, it is not done on the basis of a scientific study. So that's where the Bommai government sort of fails in, doing its duty properly. And that's the one reason why Supreme Court has stayed this until May 9th. So the other factor is the political advantage that the party can reap. It's both yes and no because, BJP has in a way got what it wanted. As you might remember that a powerful sect among the Lingayats, the Panchamsali Lingayats,
yes,
were on an agitation for the last about 2 years. And the moment Bommai government announced this new reservation policy, they withdrew their stir and commended the government for the new policy. And they have said that they will support the BJP in the elections. So to that extent, I think Bommai government got what it wanted.
No, but then the question is about it being legally tenable.
Yes, I'm coming to that.
Ashok Gowda, I'm coming back to you, Mr. Arun. Ashok Gowda, the question is that the Supreme Court has stayed it, and an order is expected perhaps even, post 9th. I'm not second guessing what will be the Supreme Court's final order. But my question to you is, are we to believe that Muslims in Karnataka are no longer in the backward category?
See, let's understand, Maria. What had happened is in BP Mandal Commission, Muslims itself was divided into several OBC categories, not the entire Muslims. Like, for example, Shia, Sunni, and Nadafa Muslims, and there are certain sects. There are more than 90 sects were recognized inside the Muslim community, and in Karnataka, there are 8 sects which were demarked in category 1A, and category 2A also has around 13 sects of Muslims. So the people who were really backward have already got reservation, and there is nothing which has changed there. And we have not removed a single sect. For example, Pingari sect in Muslims, who form around 23 lakhs.
No. What you have done is, what Mr. Bommai government has done is that you have scrapped 4% of the Muslims, saying that there should not be any religious-based quota, and distributed it among the Lingayats and also among the Vokkaligas. My question yes, but do you have a scientific or an empirical evidence to suggest that the Muslims are no longer in the backward category in the state?
That is what Mr. Arun also should understand. In BP Mandal Commission, once the Muslims were recognized as 80 to 90 sects, among which in Karnataka, what was done before 1995. That is during after the post Mandal Commission's report, there were 8 sects kept in category 1A and 13 sects kept in category 2A. That is not removed at all. We are really backward. That is what I was trying to explain. No, 1 second.
Ashok
The
Gowda
entire community
Ashok
in
Gowda
1995.
Ashok Gowda ji, you know what is happening right now? You are saying that religious-based quota should not be there, and rightly so. I agree with you on that. And because if you look at what the Supreme Court has said in 2017 again, religion has no role in electoral process, which is a secular activity. And this has been said in the landmark 7-judge bench verdict in 2017, and rightly so. My question then is that why didn't the Congress party also remove it? Because there is scientific evidence to say, according to you, that the Muslims per se as a constituency should not be given this vote. You know, this quota. Lavanya Balal.
Yeah, see, the fact of the matter is the 4% that the BJP is talking about that was divided among the Panchamsali Lingayats. You know, first of all, the Panchamsali Lingayats demanded the government to move their community from 3B reservation category to 2A reservation category. Okay, the BJP did not consider this demand, and then there was a demand from other OBC communities, that's the Kurubas and the Madiwalas, for the change in their reservation. None of this was accepted by the BJP government. Now, the BJP government has scrapped the 3-decade-old 4% reservation provided to the Muslims under the 2B reservation category. And by scrapping this 4%, they have given it to Lingayats and Vokkaligas by 2% each. They have not really increased the Lingayats and the Vokkaliga reservation by much. It is only by 2% for each of these communities. Now, we are demanding, Indian National Congress is demanding, there was a Anand Mohan Commission report that came out in 2020 and recommended, right? Let them implement these recommendations because they're refusing to implement these recommendations. We are demanding the central government to scrap the 50% cap on the reservation. Let everybody get the reservations as, backed by the science or the facts. We want the 50% reservation cap to be removed. Let the BJP government do that, because last year, when there were recommendations from the state and they passed a bill in the Karnataka government, passed it here in Vidhan Sauda. It was not sent to central government. The Social Justice Department or the ministry said there was no such demand that came from Karnataka government. It was only after that embarrassment in December, this demand was put forth by the Bommai government in Delhi. Now, why are they doing all of this drama if they were really genuinely interested in uplifting any community for that matter?
Okay, that's a fine enough question and a genuine one. Ashok Gowda, you have been in power. If this decision was not purely for electoral gains, then it should have happened much earlier. Why did it happen just weeks before the Model Code of Conduct?
Apparently, the timing is not a big factor. The way Congress does it, that they may do it for the polls, but we are bound to the upliftment of every society. That's a different issue. But Congress and JDS has been doing constantly one thing. They say 85 lakhs of Panchamasaligas should be put in 2A category. And where will the other communities go? Almost at 12% of Karnataka's population you put there, and then you remove certain communities and put them into STs, and you don't increase the ST quota, nor do you increase the 2A quota. How will the justification be done? This is what, in fact, then Janta Dala, then the Deve Gowda also did for Valmiki community in ST. He just listed with only 3% reservation, and he did not add any value to ST community, nor to the real tribes of the state. So what we did is we increased the ST reservation by 4%, and exactly that had to be done. And now also we have increased the reservation of the real backwards within the Lingayat community to 7%, and the real backwards in Vokkaliga community to 6%. Very justifiable. I'm also being a Vokkaliga, and it's a very welcoming move, and we have got a right.
Okay, since you have brought in JDS, let me bring in Farzana as well. Farzana, because JDS has not made its stand clear so far, I want to understand from you, is the JDS of the opinion that the BJP stand is right, in which they say that the Muslim quota, because it was based on religion, is unconstitutional?
Okay, Madam, JDS has clearly stated, our former CM Kumaraswamy sir, in his Pancharatna Yatra in Mysore, he clearly said that we stand for Muslim reservation. And one more thing, the
and why do you
reservation
stand
has
for
given
Muslim reservation? What exactly is the reason?
means former President Deve Gowda ji has given the reservation to the Muslims. And one more thing I would like to tell
So
you,
Muslims
madam,
as a religious bloc.
Yes, madam, because the High Court, it has clearly
So it is
says
not,
that
it is not on the basis of their backwardness. It is not on the basis of various communities within the Muslims who could be backward, who may not be backward, but it is purely on the basis of religion.
No, madam, because the Chinnapareddy Commission has designated Muslims as socially and educationally backward. And the High Court, the Karnataka High Court, in the writ petition 4371/77, it clearly says that the fact that they are religious minorities, no ground to exclude them from the list of backward classes. The Karnataka High Court clearly says that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So even JDS says the same.
Okay, but then
but the thing
if a community, no ma'am, Farzana ji, mera sawal hai if a community has been placed in the economically backward section for several years, and if the state government has empirical evidence to suggest that perhaps they are no longer backward, then they can very well be removed from that category. That should be acceptable to one and all, only if they have empirical evidence. Would you agree with that?
But there is no evidence, madam. It's clearly shown that Karnataka Muslims are living in a very lower condition. After BJP came into power, we are living in a very suffocated environment. They come up with the hijab, halal. They are attacking for in our food, dress, attire, and banning people, poor vendors from the marketing area. We are living in a very pathetic condition in Karnataka after these people came into power. How can Muslims come up with the educational and socially
seen as
improvement?
A vote bank reach out that is happening by the JDS, and so it is happening by the Congress party. And on the other hand, the BJP is looking at polarization of its own majority community. So any debate around reservation is turning out to be, Farzana, the way you have explained it, it is actually turning out to be that kind of an argument here.
Yes, they didn't only play with the Muslims' emotions, they are playing with the Vokkaligas and Lingayats. They even know that it's not at all going to happen.
You know,
they are playing only
Mr.
for
Gowda,
their
Mr. Gowda, the fact is that you have lost two of your prominent Lingayat faces. Both these faces, a former chief minister and a former deputy chief ministers, are sending a message that the BJP doesn't stand with the Lingayats. Is this more of a damage control then? By sending a message of, reservations?
No. Say no. Please understand. When did Jagdish Shettar and Saudi leave after the ticket announcement? That is the last week. And before that only we had announced. That is not at all related to these two people leaving. These two people are not such stalwart leaders. Yediyurappa ji is a stalwart leader. He is very much part of BJP, and he is the one who is leading the campaign. That's a different issue. Now, once we are discussing, Madam Fardina is saying Chinnapareddy Commission. Chinnapareddy Commission, as said, categorically said, BP Mandal Commission's castes within Muslims, which are there, sects within Muslims, are 90, and out of which these are the people who are backward. In fact, Chinnapareddy Commission, Deve Gowda ji basically did not agree to Chinnapareddy Commission, and he himself has said that I am not with Chinnapareddy Commission. And Chinnapareddy Commission is not the one which gave the Muslims the reservation. Deve Gowda ji unscientifically announced for entire Muslims, even the Shia Sunni and other Muslims, Bora Muslims, who are very rich Muslims per se by the community wise, and he has announced it for everybody. How can it be justifiable? Entire Muslim reservation according to...
Okay, I have just enough time for B.S. Arun. B.S. Arun, how do you see this playing out in Karnataka?
See, BJP is trying to get maximum mileage out of it, but as for
electoral
Lingayat,
gains,
will
they have electoral gains?
But then now with Supreme Court coming, staying this, and BJP will have a tough time in convincing people about the advantages or how they are going to, ensure it's some implementation. It's in a catch-22 situation for, it's now a catch-22 situation for the BJP. It will find itself difficult in explaining its stand and making the people convinced about, its sincerity in implementing this.
All right. Ashok Gowda, Lavanya Balal, Ms. Farzana and B.S. Arun, thank you so much. Shifting focus to debate 2. Whether Nitish Kumar's government's decision to tweak jail rules has sparked a political war as dreaded Bahubali and murder convict Anand Mohan has walked free. On Monday, the Bihar government has issued, remember, a notification to release 27 prisoners who have completed 14 years of their life term. It's become a big political hot potato in Bihar. Let's listen in to the sound bites.